I've seen that he's been kind of saying, like, I can't be homophobic because I have a gay brother. So I guess he, does it ever feel like he's kind of using you to come across as less homophobic, or to kind of persuade people that his view is correct with homosexuality?
Hi loves, it's Tonic here, and girl, I have a story for you today. If you don't know me, I'm a British drag queen that's been living in the Czech Republic for the past 3.5 years. I identify as a gay man currently, but I dress as a woman for performance art, self-expression, and now it seems, investigative journalism. As a foreigner in the Czech Republic, I've mostly tried to stay out of politics. I didn't think it was my place nor my business to get involved. That was until this picture appeared online. Yeah. This is a picture of me and my drag sister, Just Karen, posted from Prague Pride 2020. This was posted by the far-right leader of the SPD party, Tomio Okamura, to his Facebook page. The caption reads, "Companies are going bankrupt and people are losing their jobs, but Pirati, which is an opposing political party here in the Czech Republic, are campaigning for a 650,000 crown grant for the homosexual Prague Pride Festival." Since sharing this to his 250,000 followers on Facebook, it has garnered over 2,000 shares and 5,600 reactions, consisting mostly of angry faces. And girl, the feeling's mutual. Clearly, many people were upset, either because they didn't like gay people or because they thought the money could have gone to better causes. Anyway, here are some examples of the comments below this post and others like it. Ouch. Despite the content of this post and its clear intentions, Tomio mentions in the post description, "The SPD movement rejects the persecution of homosexuals or transsexes, and we believe that both homosexuals and transsexuals have the right to the same civil liberties as other citizens." But since this post, he's come out against the new bill proposed by the Czech government to legalise marriage equality and the right of homosexual couples to adopt children. He's even stated that he would rather jump from a window than be adopted by a same-sex couple. In the Czech Republic, partnered same-sex couples do not have the same right as married couples. They do not get equal partnership over property, their widows do not receive money from their pension fund, and they are not allowed to adopt children. So, how can Tomio claim to support queer people while also degrading them and trying to stop them gaining equal rights? Well, it's an old trope we all know very well and heard many times. He knows someone that's gay. And it's his little brother. So, does Tomio have a point? Is Prague Pride a waste of hard-earned taxpayers' money? Is Prague City Council discriminating against heterosexual people with this homosexual event? And do homosexual people deserve to be treated like lesser citizens? I'm here to find out. Over the next 2 episodes, we will find out more information about this case. We'll be hearing from representatives of Prague Pride, the Pirati Party, a queer Czech person who's grown up in this country, a man who was raised by a same-sex couple, and Tomio Okamura's own younger gay brother, an excuse for his homophobia. So my loves, it's time to roll up your thigh-high stockings, polish those patent leather pumps, and strap on your strap-on because we're about to get real. For this video, I had the pleasure of interviewing Daniel Zickman, the PR representative for Prague Pride. Let's see what he has to say about this situation and all the drama surrounding it.
Well, thank you for joining me. So there's obviously, like you said, some crazy stuff going on in the media lately. Some things to do with Prague Pride and some things to do with equal marriage. Can you just tell me a little bit about what you do?
So I'm in charge of whole public relations and communications for the Prague Pride organisation, which doesn't only organise the festival, but we also have counselling service for LGBT youth, but essentially for anyone who needs help. And then we also have a Pride Business Forum.
A lot of the drama is centred around Prague Pride getting money from Prague City Council. It's a lot of money and people are getting angry about it. They think maybe Prague Pride doesn't deserve it. So how did you go about receiving that money?
Every year, there's an open call for any cultural organisations that would commit to a tourism impact in Prague. So we just fill in the registration form as any other organisation, and then there's a whole process in the city hall of kind of approving those applications. Okay. And it's all kind of transparent, and anyone, essentially any organisation or cultural event can apply for that.
What do you plan to spend the money on?
this year, obviously, there probably wouldn't be a parade, but we still, and I think our festival is quite unique, even in comparison to others around Europe, because it's a whole week of, and we have around 100 of events. So we are planning on organizing both online and offline, and the Pride Village with kind of small concerts, all in line with the COVID restrictions. It's a week of for anyone who is a safe space, and it's a week from the whole year for a lot of people that can show who they really are and be themselves.
Besides like what the great work it does for people and queer people and giving them a safe space, a lot of people think that it's money that should be generated yourself. Obviously Pride makes money in tourism. How much money does Pride make, and do they make a profit on what is given to them back to the city?
Yes, so for the city hall, it really is an investment, because there's tens of thousands of tourists coming in for just for Prague Pride alone, and they spend a huge amount of money. So from the reports from 2017, the tourists that come for Prague Pride, they spent 280 million crowns. From what I know as well, Prague is planning on a huge campaign as soon as the restrictions are at ease, targeting neighboring countries, and I think those people from neighboring countries are definitely going to come in this year as well, as we've seen last summer.
There's a lot of people that say that online, that I've seen in the comments, saying that Prague Pride is very like vulgar, and there's lots of nudity, maybe it's not safe for children. I personally haven't experienced that when I've been at Prague Pride, but have you experienced that or had complaints, and what was the response to someone who would say that?
I would say that those are a question raised by people who've never been in Prague Parade and never actually attended any of our events. So I would tell them to come and just enjoy the week of and any of the out of the 100 events that we have. It is a safe space for anyone, and it should be a week for people to show who they really are, because we still live in a world that it's not easy to show who you are in everyday life.
What would be your message to anyone living in the Czech Republic right now who's seeing all of this stuff go on and is maybe questioning their sexuality or struggling to fit in? Maybe they're in a village where they're not being accepted and they're seeing all this stuff on the news. What would be your message to them as someone who works for Prague Pride?
I would say, well, first of all, take your time, and the coming out is a whole process, that it takes time and patience. And I would say for anyone who is who's not in a safe space or safe place, they can always message us on the counselling services Barboven, We have a mentors, and it's a peer-to-peer mentoring. Try to be who they are, and try not to be afraid of anything. We were talking about tourism, right? So there's also something that's called domestic tourism. So we encourage people from those villages come and enjoy the festival in Prague.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, it's their only chance to meet other gay people and see people like them. So yeah, it's really amazing what you guys do. I really appreciate it. All right, so thank you so much for being here with me, Daniel. I really appreciate your time, and everything you're doing is amazing.
Thank you for doing this and actually putting some great information out there.
So, it seems that Prague Pride might not be a waste of money after all. With such a huge profit being generated for the city, this can surely only mean to improve the damaged economy post the pandemic levate. Whether you're gay or straight, we all need a bit more money. But is this fair? Are other organisations missing out on important funding? Well, I spoke to trans politician and member of the Pirati Party, Georgia Hejdukova, to find out more.
Hi, Georgia. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So, Georgia, there's been a lot of drama going on in the media lately. There's a lot of things going on about how the Prague City Council has been funding Prague Pride. This has obviously caused some controversy among some politicians and some people in more right-wing parties. Can you tell me a little bit more about Prague City Council's policy on how they fund different organisations?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that Prague City Council funds many festivals, regardless of their political involvement. For example, this year there has been also a request for financial of a sort of a circus without animals. I have a document with two pages worth of these cultural donations. So I don't really think that this is an issue. It's just Prague City Council considers any festival that's supports connecting of people and that embraces the rules that are very simple. Just need to have you just need to apply, and it needs to fulfill some basic requirements. If you get that, then you can get a donation, and then the size of the donation will depend on how much money is available. For example, there was a cut on all of these donations in recent years.
So you said that we're giving money to other organisations. Are there any organisations that have received money from the council already that haven't got as much media attention as Prague Pride?
I'm kind of not sure about this year, because this year it's got all kind of messy. But yeah, several years past, we funded, for example, Metronome Festival. That was funded year and year after that. It's just a standard procedure of funding cultural events. They don't usually receive that much of attention, because it's just considered a standard procedure that city council supports what's happening in a city. Prague Pride is a bit of a controversial in Czech Republic, and some right-wing parties tend to shame on basically anything that's LGBT related. And this is why it gains such a controversy. But I don't think it's really out of any kind of standard procedures, and it's been funding last year too. So it's nothing special really, and the cost is even lowered down opposed to the last year. So it's just really the issue of right-wing parties tending to raise whenever somebody supports LGBT, then they are, these people support LGBT and they're bad people, so we need to act on that.
Of course, you're a trans woman. I wondered, in your experience, how has Prague Pride helped you personally and other people like you?
Well, for us, Prague Pride is, first of all, it's an opportunity to show that we exist, to discuss that the fact that we do not have the equal rights as heterosexual people. So that's the main option, and also it's an option to meet other people, talk about these topics. We usually just hang out with friends, and there are petitions, an event about human rights, about LGBT rights, and also it's an event where can LGBT people get together and just celebrate who they are.
And what would you say to those people in the comments who are saying that it's unfair that Pride is getting money and other events aren't, or that perhaps it's even discrimination against straight people that Prague Pride is getting money?
I would say that other festivals get money as well. For example, Metronome Festival got money in the last few years. Latin Festival about the circus without animals is gaining money also every year. And there are like I said, there are dozens of festivals that get money from Prague every single year, and it's a routine procedure that Prague does give money to festivals that meet certain conditions. 650,000 Czech crowns isn't that much of a price tag. For example, some of these that are mentioned are fairly more expensive. I would say it's pretty normal to give money to a festival that, supports tourism and such.
Are these other festivals as profitable as Prague Pride?
It's similar. They are similar in profitability, and it really depends on the type of festival. I would say there are dozens of them, and it really depends on the specifics. But I would not say it's Prague Pride would be something kind of an exception.
And also it has the value of giving a space for queer people, which is kind of invaluable, right? Kind of priceless. Yeah. So anyone who's out there in the Czech Republic right now, any trans people or any gay people or any people under the queer spectrum living in a place where they don't feel comfortable, they don't feel safe, and they're seeing what's going on in the news now, what would be your message to them?
I would just say, do not give up, because it is very difficult these days. Like just today, our parliament is debating initiative to legalize gay marriage.
Yeah.
So there has been a lot of noise in the parliament from far-right politicians.
Yeah.
But we just need to stick together. We just need to continue voice our opinions, and one day eventually we are going to get equal rights.
Since speaking to Georgia, we've done an investigation and found out that there have been several organisations that have received funding from Prague City Council that have not garnered nearly the amount of media attention. Here are some examples. So it looks like if you believe in fair treatment, due process, and making a profit, helping to fund Prague Pride is clearly the way to go. But these are not the reasons why many queer people value Pride so much. Pride started as a protest for human rights and equality, and continues to be a protest in many countries today. According to Gay Times magazine, there's still 11 countries worldwide that criminalise homosexuality by the death penalty. To me, you can't put a price on your rights or the way you feel about yourself. The true value of Pride? Priceless.
Here's a story from my good friend Stan about his first Pride and how this helped him accept himself as a gay man. Hi Stan, thank you for joining.
That's good.
I just wanted to give you a quick call because I remember when we lived together you told me a story about you and your experience with Pride, so would you mind sharing that with us?
The thing is, when I was growing up, I was growing up in a small Moravian town where there were like no gay people at all.
Yeah.
On TV, nowhere. So before I even knew what it means to be gay, what it means, I already know it as insult, basically. And let's be honest, like calling someone gay, that's like the worst, the worst thing you can do to a guy, especially.
Yeah.
So classically, I had this like deep-rooted sense of like self-hatred. So through my friend's sister was gay, I got the opportunity to go to Prague Pride. It was like the second one, maybe, ever, Prague Pride. And when I got there, it was kind of a shocking experience, very like intense. Because, when you are gay and in hiding or whatever, you are so insecure about a lot of things, like if you have too feminine or something, or if you dress inappropriately or whatever. But in Pride, in Parade, you see all the people sort of like be comfortable. And I saw people who are much, much more feminine, much more queer, completely comfortable and being celebrated even. So
true. I remember you saying to me as well, wasn't it your first experience actually meeting a gay person in real life?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because, I probably met someone, but it was not possible to be out at least 15 years ago when I was a kid.
So how old were you when you finally managed to go and meet some gay people and managed to come out and find yourself?
I was 18. And it was the first day when I come out to some close friends and everything. And then I decided that I need to get out of the town. I went to university here. Things changed there.
So how important would you say Pride was in your transition to accepting yourself?
I think it was major. It was one of the most important events. The thing is, in some places, in a bit more further away places, in Moravia or something, it's just not possible to really. So there's no way to meet other gay people.
Of course, there's a lot going on in the news right now when it comes to gay rights, with gay marriage, and there's a lot going on with gay pride being funded. So I know a lot of people will be in the situation you were in, living in those small towns or even in Prague and having those feelings and thoughts. So what would you say to those people now if you could?
It's when I read some of the comments or anything, it's really, really depressing for sure, but...
Yeah.
I always think, or I would say to other people, these people, they are idiots. Honestly, they don't know any better. They're just like, completely dumb. Just didn't experience anything, so don't worry about it too much. Like some of these, right now with the marriage, I always find it so funny where when Czechs, who are the most atheistic nation maybe in the world, suddenly bringing up like that marriage is just the holiest thing just between man and woman, and you cannot like change focus on yourself, and there are always options how to get out and how to meet other people right now, and you have a lot of ways how to communicate with others through social media and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video and hit that notification bell so you get notified when part 2 is released, where I'll be interviewing Tomio Okamura's younger gay brother. Shit's about to get real. See you in the next video. Bye loves.